Thanks for stopping by again. I wanted to briefly synopsize what this video is about today, and I'm going to get a little bit deeper into this conversation as things move on. But just to give you an idea as to what this actual story is about 21 months ago, I was contacted by Jason Bassler of the Free Thought Project, which is located out of California. Remember, I'm in the greater Orlando, Florida area. So, cross country, I get a message from Jason asking me if there was any possible way that I could help a person out of Maryland. And I said, well, it depends on what it is. So he explained the case to me, and it's a very heartbreaking situation. But basically, he explained to me that he was reached out by a woman in Maryland who had been egregiously harmed by a government official quite a long time ago, and that she's been fighting to get justice, not for herself, but her child. And the child was harmed by a public official. So, of course, it piqued my interest because as a whistleblower, I really want to help as many people as I can, especially when it comes to children. I want to protect children. So I asked for the name and the number. He gave me the information. I reached out to this woman and we started texting. We made a time to get on the phone, and she told me about her case, and it was heartbreaking. I'm pretty quick to glean if a person is being truthful with me, and I could tell by the pain in her voice and the passion that she exuded about her child that this was a really terrible situation. So I told her to send me the information and I would look over it. So I looked over several hundred pages of information, and now I'm 21 months into this investigation now in the month of July of 2022, and I will tell you that it's an atrocious case. The public official had harmed this child quite a long time ago, probably 8 years ago now, and the mother's been fighting for many, many years to try to get justice. I am now one of those people that is wrapped up very deeply in this case, trying to seek prosecution for the suspect, of which I have very, very strong probable cause against the suspect. And what I'm finding is that within the state of Maryland, this is a repeat situation where many individuals in that state are related to other people, and whether it be by marriage or genealogy, circles of friends, etc. Very, very tight knit network there. And so what that does is it creates collusion, and it creates protectionism for those that do not deserve to be protected. So today, we're going to be speaking about 3 of those individuals. The first one, his name is Detective Sergeant Stephen Hall with the Talbot County Sheriff's Office. The second person is Assistant State Attorney Ellen Berry Grunden, Democratic candidate for State Attorney in Talbot County, Maryland. The third person is Ted Gallo, a candidate for Kent County Commission. So these are 3 people that are very well aware of who I am and very well aware of the case, very well aware of the probable cause against the suspect, and very clearly aligned with malfeasance and refusal to prosecute the suspect, what I believe to be collusion what I believe to be government corruption, what I believe to be falsification of official documents. All of these things are what I believe these three individuals, amongst many, many others in the state of Maryland, are participating in. So, with that being said, I am working very hard, very diligently. Keep in mind, I work as a volunteer, unpaid victims' rights advocate on behalf of the mother and the child. Okay? So, I'm not doing this for any personal gain whatsoever. I'm doing this to protect a child. I'm doing this to protect somebody's constitutional rights. I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do when it comes to a person harming a child, especially when it comes to a person put in a position of power that is now not being prosecuted. So, as we move forward in the videos that I present to you, the people, I'll give you more information as things move forward, but I am providing them ample time to step forward. Detective Sergeant Stephen Hall of the Talbot County Sheriff's Office, please step forward. Call me. Let's understand why you, in your own words, in an email to me, tells me that you see no actionable charges against the suspect. Very clear probable cause against the suspect. Hundreds of pages of evidence. Medical experts testifying on written reports that this child was harmed by the suspect. Very, very clear and concise probable cause against the suspect. Okay, detective? So please, let me see you do the right thing. As a police officer, I'm simply completely shocked at the fact that you and your department are failing to act. You're failing to respond to me. Doesn't make any sense. Now, Miss Ellen Berry Grunden, you and I have also communicated, and you continue to deny acceptance of the new evidence in the case. Not really very sure why. You say that you're there to protect children and that you want to protect victims, but you certainly don't want to participate in prosecutorial actions against the suspect. So, very interested in speaking with you as well. And Mr. Ted Gallo, least of my cooperative individuals who fails to continually deny any conversation with me via email whatsoever, reads my messages very clearly, but doesn't respond. This person was in charge of investigations through Child Protective Services, cleared the case, stating that there was no evidence against the suspect. Even though we have a lot of evidence, probably over 200 pages of evidence, Mr. Gallo, please step forward. Give me a call. You've got my phone number. You've got my email. Doesn't look very good for your position running for county commission, because I'm sure the public would be very interested in learning that you clear cases of child sexual abuse against public officials when there's hundreds of pages of evidence. Yes, this is a child sexual abuse case. This is a case that is very clear that the suspect committed the act of harm against this child. Very clear. Now, I've been in law enforcement for over 16 years now and conducted thousands of criminal investigations. I just don't understand how people that are put in positions in law enforcement refuse to prosecute suspects that are very clearly guilty as charged. Now, look, I'm not a judge. I'm not a jury. I'm not an attorney. I'm a person just like you. But you know what? I know what I know when I know it. And when I read through all of the information and spoke to physicians and spoke to psychologists and spoke to all of these subject matter experts in the field, they concur that yes, this child was harmed. Now, when a child comes forward and makes a statement against a suspect, names the suspect, clearly describes the harm done to them, inclusive of weapons that were used against them during the commission of a crime, do you think that that child is coached into saying these things? Year after year after year after year, this child makes these statements against the suspect. And yet, Detective Sergeant Stephen Hall puts in his official affidavit, which to me is perjury, says the child was coached. But yet, you've got two preeminent physicians, one from Johns Hopkins and one from Kennedy Krieger, stating the child was not coached. The child has post-traumatic stress disorder from the abuse suffered at the hands of the suspect. So, to the people, call Detective Sergeant Stephen Hall at the Talbot County Sheriff's Office. Tell him how you feel about his failure to act and his dereliction of duty and his falsification of public documents and his collusion with the suspect and the Assistant State Attorney, Ellen Berry Grundon. Call her office at the Talbot County State Attorney's Office. Tell her how you feel about her failure to protect a victim, her failure to do her job as a prosecutor. Because guess what? I've got a letter, you can see it on the screen, that shows she dismissed the case for her failure to clearly be able to understand that there is a case here and that there's probable cause to proceed with prosecutorial actions. Maybe she needs a little extra help in understanding these things. I don't know. I certainly wouldn't vote for her to be a state attorney. She doesn't understand how to prosecute this case when it's very clear. And then, if you can find Mr. Ted Gallo, please call him, email him. I will provide all of this information in the notes below for those phone numbers and emails that you can write and call these public officials. Tell them how you feel. Tell them that you want justice for this little girl that's been suffering for years. Years she's been suffering. We're not going to put up with it anymore. We're not. You need to do your job. You need to stop covering up for your friends. You need to stop covering up for family and professional associations. Stop. You are there to protect the people, not to use your position in a nefarious manner. It's not right. So let's all do what we can to get help and justice for this little girl. It's unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. So with that, I'll leave you to go on with your day and think of how you can provide help to this child and get her justice, okay? Thank you so much for your time. Help others. Be kind. Be safe.